Hi, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. Another episode of my preparation for Dallas 2024. I'm just about to start my first interval of Kipchoge Track 2 session. I got 8 times, 1,200 meters with 2 minutes rest in between. So we're gonna see how it goes. Over and out, I gotta run hard now. Oh, okay. I just finished my last interval. And I'm pleasantly surprised. It went quite well. I was nervous, for sure. After that 35K long run on Sunday, and I had quite a few pains, but you know, that's also to be expected. The longest run of the cycle, most difficult workout of the cycle, most difficult week of the cycle, and that's all behind me now. And I'm really glad today's session went well. 8 repeats, 1,200 meters with 2-minute breaks in between. And the idea being go about 15 seconds per mile slower than your marathon pace on the first rep. I did about 10, and then you increment a couple seconds faster each repeat. And I'm pretty sure I executed it very well. Quite certain I incremented by somewhere between 1 and 5 seconds on every one. And the last one I did about 20 seconds per mile faster than marathon pace. So that last one was kind of hard, but it also felt good, and I feel good. And right now I'm happy. Kipchoge fartlek on Thursday. That one's going to be a little bit tougher. Those are always harder, but I'm on the easier part of the final build walk now, since I reversed the order, and so each workout and each week gets easier from here on out, and I'm happy about that. Just finished the Kipchoge fartlek 2, which was 1 minute zone 2, then 2 minute zone 4, repeat 18 times. Wasn't too bad at the beginning, but oh man, the last third of that was bad, and the last couple of repeats were just brutal. I really hope I didn't push myself too hard. I feel it a little bit in the right hamstring right now. Nothing severe, I don't think. It's about the same level of soreness as I usually get after a pretty hard speed session or long run. So today is a double run day. Hopefully it'll be okay to do my second run late this afternoon, which will be a very easy effort. I don't remember exactly how far, but it's not too far, maybe 5 or 6 kilometers, something around there, and at a very easy effort. So hopefully get that done this afternoon, and then My next time checking in will be for the long run on Sunday, which is, I think, a 32 kilometer effort. It'll be around 21 miles total that I'll run. And then there'll be one more difficult week left before the taper. So, hanging on, maybe not exactly by a thread, but just by my fingertips, and walking that line between injury and not injury, between getting better and getting injured. So, check back in when it's time for the long run. Just started my 32 kilometer slash 20 mile long run. The penultimate long run before I hit my taper for Dallas. Feeling okay. As you can probably see, I'm trying something new. I'm not sure if I'll wear this camera on my hat for the race. I wanted to see how it feels. I've done it before, but never for a long run and never for running at marathon pace, so we'll see how that goes. Today's session, I'm starting out 3 kilometers easy. Then I got a 5 kilometer hot spot, 5 kilometers easy, and do that 3 times, and then end with 4 kilometers easy. I hope that adds up to 32. I'm not sure if I'm getting that exactly right, but it is a 20 mile long run with 15 kilometers worth of hot spots. Significantly less than last week, which had 4 of the 5 kilometer hot spots. So I have seemed to survive so far. Crossing my fingers, I can hang on for one more week until the taper. I will try again to do some filming while I'm running at marathon pace. Good morning.
Good morning.
But I did find out last week how hard that really is, so I'm gonna try it again, see if it feels any better this time. I'm now on kilometer 6, which is the 3rd kilometer of the first hot spot. I ran the first 2 both in 4:44 for each kilometer. That was 7 minutes 38 seconds per mile. That's right in my zone where I want to be for the marathon somewhere, since I haven't quite decided exactly what it's going to be between 7:30 and 7:40, I think. The hat cam feels okay so far. It's not bouncing around too much. Maybe a good option for the race. Gotta put the camera away now though. Okay, I just finished the first 5K hot spot. Heart rate got a little bit higher than it should have. So, I don't know, higher than it was last week. So it just may be the day. And we'll see how it goes the rest of this run. And I've still got one more long run next week. Big long run anyways, to try and help me decide what I'm going to do for marathon pace. I'm now back into zone 2, went into high zone 3, which that's why it was concerning. If it had just been low zone 3, it would have been okay, but high zone 3 in that first hot spot seems a bit high. But we shall see. Just on kilometer 14, just started. It's the beginning of my second hotspot. And it feels just as hard as it did the first time. But we're gonna do our best to get it all done. I gotta go. Well, before I do, I would say I did slow down my easy pace from what I was doing last week and managed to get my heart rate into low zone 2. So hopefully that gave me a good break. I'll do the same for probably all the easy run parts for the rest of the session. Just smack in the middle of one of the easy running sections. Did get my heart rate back into mid zone 2. Hopefully it'll come down a little bit more into low zone 2. And then I've got one more hot spot left. I'll try if I can to capture a little bit of footage. All right, here just starting the last hot spot, kilometer 24. Took the hat cam off, as this is what I might end up doing in the race. Just have it on my hat and then take the hat off instead of carrying a selfie stick. I don't know, it's an option. Anyways, I will check in when I'm done this 5K hotspot. There we go. Just something like 2.5 kilometers of easy pace left. You know, I already mentioned the one, I don't know if I want to call it a negative. I mean, it's just a data point that is different from last week, that I ran slightly slower pace, both on the hot spots and on the recovery jogs than last week. But the fatigue is really building up. Now, completing 23 of 27 weeks of training. So I'm going to be happy to get to that taper after one more week, even though the taper comes with its own challenges. At least I'll have the peace of mind that my risk of injury will go dramatically down. The upside of today's run was, I guess, I saved a little bit of energy compared to last weekend. Ran 5 kilometers of hot spots less, but my last kilometer I ran at a very quick pace. I ran it in 4 minutes 25 seconds, which I think is around a 7:06, maybe 7:10 pace. I'm not sure exactly, but somewhere around there. And the other good thing is that I'm not experiencing the same pains that I had last week. Just switch arms here. The groin pain didn't show up today. I've got a little bit of don't know if I want to call it knee pain. It's somewhat normal. My left patella, what feels like runner's knee, but it's not constant. It just comes and goes a little bit. And my hamstrings are tight, as they have been for a while now. So, just fingers crossed again that they hold on for one more week of intense training. So I'll wrap this up on my cool down walk when I finish my 32K of running, which I think there's now about 2K left. That's it. Week 23 is in the books. Oh, I don't know, man. These things are getting tough. I'm very happy there's only one more week until I get to the taper. So, 2 more speed sessions, one Tuesday, one Thursday, including a double run day Thursday, and then one more long run next Sunday. And I start my 3-week taper. First week of that taper is, still got some pretty punchy stuff in it, but it's well reduced from the 3 prior weeks that led up to it. Overall impression from today's run is it was good in some ways, better than I expected, in some ways worse. Having to slow down during the kind of recovery, easy running periods, and a little bit during the hot spots was a surprise for me. But now that I think about it and consider the level of the fatigue that's building up, it's not that much of a surprise. So, the jury's still out on what I will settle on for race pace going into the marathon. I'm still looking at that 7:30 per mile to 7 minutes and 40 per mile. Somewhere in that range. Maybe I'll split the difference and land on 7:35. Maybe I'll start on 7:40, which I think is probably pretty likely, and do maybe the first 5K at that pace and see how that feels, and inch it up slowly. That's kind of been my modus operandi on any of the marathons where I've had negative splits in the past. A negative split being, for those that don't know, where you run the second half faster than you run the first half. So, yeah, overall, especially considering that I did not experience the same kind of pain this week, and it wasn't, to be honest, a severe level of pain last week. It was just caught me a little off guard. But today there was nothing really significant that I don't normally experience on a long run that is 18 plus miles, and today was 20. So I'm going to chalk that up as a pretty decent success. I'm quite certain that when I compare it to the last time I did this session, which would have been back in March when I was training for Boston 2024, this was very much a faster pace, both during the easy running parts and the hot spots. And that's good, obviously. So I'll do one more week here coming up of keeping up with my sessions through the speed sessions and the long run. Make another episode. This will be episode, I guess, 3. I'll make episode 4 next week, and then not sure if I'll do an episode 5 during my taper, or if the last episode will just be the Dallas Marathon. I'll play that by ear. I do want to keep releasing a video each week, so I'll have to release something, just not sure exactly what it will be. I'm a little bit behind schedule in keeping up with producing content. I had 3 or 4 in reserve for a while, and then as this training schedule kind of kept catching up to me, I ate into that and it's gone. So now I'm kind of making them just in time for the following Friday. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. I appreciate everybody that comes in and regularly watches. I know there's not that many of you yet, but I'm hoping to build more of you as I get better at this and build better content. But if you did watch and you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe, and go ahead and comment and share. And particularly if you want to comment on ideas that you think you might have for me for content, I definitely read all the comments, and I would appreciate any feedback that I get. So please do so if you have the time and the inclination. So until next week on Freak Boy Runs, this is Freak Boy out.